Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard for the video. I'm flying from New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport to Ponta Delgada on São Miguel Island in the Azores. I'll be flying aboard a SATA AZORES Airlines A321LR, or long range. Now, this isn't a new airline for me. I've actually flown AZORES Airlines a few years ago from Lisbon to Ponta Delgada. That video is somewhere way back on my channel, but I'm sure many of you aren't familiar with AZORES Airlines, and maybe, just maybe, you haven't even heard of the Azores at all. So what are they? The Azores is an archipelago in the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean, some 800 plus miles from the coast of Portugal and nearly 2,000 miles from the east coast of the United States. The islands are actually the most isolated archipelago in the Northern Hemisphere. Now, tourism on the islands has increased massively over the last decade as more and more people have learned about the islands and come to visit. Often referred to as the Hawaii of the Atlantic, the Azores are far more accessible than Hawaii to Europeans and many Americans alike. When you think about it, it's only about a 5.5 hour flight from New York to Ponta Delgada on the Azores, whereas it's a 10.5 hour flight from New York to Hawaii. So much more accessible. So I started off from the Jamaica Air train, heading for the International Terminal, Terminal 1 at New York's JFK. And the International Terminal is a mess in the summer. I've never seen it as busy as it was. And with overseas travel at an all-time high, it made sense, and the place was absolutely mobbed. But security wasn't too bad, and I was quickly on my way to find Gate 1. I thought it was kind of funny. AZORES Airlines uses a shared gate, Gate 1, all the way in the corner of the International Terminal, if you know John F. Kennedy's Terminal 1. Just like the Azores themselves, the gate is kind of isolated and out of the way. I'm sure other passengers see the plane taxi by and say, "What is AZORES Airlines? Where are the Azores?" There seemed to be a mix of traffic waiting at Gate 1 to board. Some VFR or visiting friends and relatives traffic combined with your more typical looking tourists, like myself in this case. A few people had backpacks and hiking gear with them, and the Azores is a fairly popular stopover destination for travelers flying back and forth to Europe. As AZORES Airlines grows their fleet and maybe reshapes and redefines their approach to serving this beautiful part of the world, I think we'll see the Azores and maybe the airline themselves position themselves much more like Iceland does, as kind of a stopover destination between the United States and Europe. The flight was great. AZORES is in the process of a fleet renewal project. They just retired their aging A310 and A330 a few years ago, and they currently operate a mixed fleet of some A321neos, 321LRs, 320ceos, Dash 8Q200s, and Dash 8Q400s. And not to mention, in the summer they also wet lease a few heavies, including a Plus Ultra A330, Euro-Atlantic 777-200, and occasionally a high-fly A340-300. All this to say that my 2-year-old A321neo LR, registration CS-TSI, nicknamed Inspire, was really clean. And one thing I noticed flying on the 321LR, whether it's for AZORES Airlines, or with AZORES Airlines, or with JetBlue, is just how quiet the aircraft is. I could barely hear the engines from my seat in 23A just behind the wing as we spooled up, took off from runway 22 right, climbed out along the coast of Long Island, and then turned east off the coast of Cape Cod. We were served a tasty meal about an hour into the flight, some chicken and rice with green beans and a little bit of bread. I also opted for some red wine with the meal, which was complimentary, which was a nice touch. They dimmed the cabin lights after the meal service, and I got some sleep, here and there, probably not too much, maybe about an hour or so, and woke up to a lightning sky over the middle of the Atlantic. And a note here, this flight goes by super quickly, so in between the meal service and landing, there's not too much time to sleep, so just think about that if you're flying from the east coast of the US to the Azores. Anyways, I'll shut up and go to sleep on my commentating for now and let you watch this AZORES Airlines experience. And if you enjoy the video, you want to see some more of these light reviews, click that subscribe button for more weekly aviation content.
Two rear doors. All exits are marked with an exit sign above. Reflected beds on the floor will also lead you to the exits. Please pay attention to the closing exit. Os coletes de salvação encontram sete bubbles, os vossos lugares ou debaixo da parte central do braço da cadeira. Em caso de necessidade, retire o colete da bolsa. Isto negative emergency. Remove it from the bag and pull it over your head. Wrap the strap around your waist. Attach at the front. And pull it. To inflate, pull the red tag or blow into the mouthpiece. You must only inflate your life jacket when leaving the aircraft. The life jacket when inflated may also be used as a floating device. In caso de emergência, subir o comando Brace, assuma a posição de choque conforme indicado no fio de segurança. Sugerimos mais uma vez a leitura do fio de segurança. Em caso de dúvida, contate a informação. In the event of an emergency, if you hear brace, please assume the bracing position as shown on the safety card. Please read once again the safety card or contact the cabin crew if you have any questions. A partir deste momento, os cintos de segurança devem estar apertados, as mesas fechadas, as costas das cadeiras direitas, o descanso de pés.
is not able to eat one-time rubbing substance. Our service today was the hot milk with hot and cold beverages. According to the Portuguese law, alcohol consumption is restricted. It is not allowed to consume alcoholic drinks purchased at
em São Miguel. São 6 horas e 30 minutos, hora local, 4 horas a mais que em Nova Iorque e a temperatura é de 22 graus Celsius. Pedimos que permaneçam sentados com os cintos de segurança apertados até que o sinal seja desligado. Recomendamos cuidado ao abrir as bagageiras. Certifiquem-se que levam convosco toda a região e objetos pessoais. Os passageiros que solicitaram assistência técnica permanecem sentados até o final do desembarque e até que a tripulação os possa assistir. Pedimos aos passageiros que viajam com bebés e quem foi distribuído entre o cinto, por favor de os deixar em cima da cadeira e entregar a tripulação ao cinto do avião. O comandante programar que se a sua tripulação despedem-se e esperam por telecebê-los no valor da AZORES Airlines. Bom dia e obrigado. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Azores. We have just landed at Ponta Delgada Airport in San Miguel Island. The local time is 6:30. 1 of 4 hours ahead. New York